Hey stars, so today I want to take some time and talk about colors and their association in the Bible as well as just like the spiritual community. And I want to look at some of the correlations, some of the differences, and some of the similarities between the two. So let's get into it. So we have yellow when it comes to the Bible. It talks about light, purity, youth, happiness, wisdom, hospitality, love, and benevolence. So we have it when it comes to the other side in general. It's wisdom, mental energy, insight, intuition, and sensitivity. What I found interesting is that one really talks about like the youth and the the youth and the sensitivity, and the other one really talks about more of the intuition. But the both of them really grasp this wisdom and the feminine energy of the color yellow, and I really like that. So when it comes to orange in the Bible, orange talks about strength, endurance, fire, red representing passion, yellow representing the sun or representing wisdom, and the both of them representing the sun. What I found really interesting about this was the correlation to the sun and how so many other religions and ancient cultures really had this correlation with the sun. The sun really ran deep within every belief system, and I found that really interesting here. So we have green. So green talks about fertility, freedom, hope, and victory. On the other hand, it talks about it does talk about wealth. A lot of the times if it comes up, it has to do with wealth, but it talks about love, health, compassion, growth, and renewal. And I find it really interesting that the both of them say that it kind of represents this freedom within oneself. And I really found that interesting because when you really start to get in touch with nature, that's when it is that you're really able to start being free. And I found that a really interesting correlation. So in the Bible, when it comes to the color red, it talks about love, charity, a spiritual awakening, which I found really interesting. Fire, joy for life, passion, and anger. So on the other hand, we have vitality, temper, strength, survival, hard work, and leadership. Both really take on the masculine side of this color when it comes to strength, passion, and really taking action. I dug that. I dig it. So, and then we have black. Black in the Bible talks about this constant. It talks about the internal womb. It talks about fear, death, and ignorance. On the other hand, when it comes to, in general, it talks about protection, independence, and mystery. So what I found really interesting here was that the both really embrace this void feminine energy when it comes to this color. However, what I find really interesting is that in the Bible, it takes on this almost European view of it being a dark thing, it being a negative thing when it comes to fear, ignorance, and death. And if you don't know, Rome was in the Bible. We live in the last Roman Empire. Just throwing that out there. So, moving on, we have brown. Brown talks about the earth when it comes to the Bible. It talks about the earth. A robe's monk is normally brown, and it really emphasizes in humility and the connection to God. So brown talks about, in general, talks about earth, dependability, stability, and humility. Both really take this Mother Earth concept and really connecting to the earth because of the stability that it is that she has to offer you. And both say that this is a very humble color. So I really like that. Blue, when it comes to the Bible, is with the sky, or prana, hope and goodness. So when it comes down to it, blue in general has to deal with communication, expression, and this is where freedom really comes in key. So I find it really interesting that with these two colors, they differ so much. Like, this was the one that I found that there weren't a bunch of similarities. They didn't really see it as the same thing, or even close to me. And maybe you might see it differently than I did, but this is just how I saw it. So we have white in the Bible. It talks about virginity and purity and innocence and birth, which I find really interesting. Is like, how can you consider like birth innocent? But like, maybe it's because like this innocent life was coming into the world, but like, it don't seem innocent to me. It don't seem nasty. Ooh. So, and then white in general, it has to deal with truth, innocence, and purity. I find it really interesting that right here, they're almost identical, where with blue, it was such a vast difference. Where with with white, it wasn't at all. I was thinking vas deferens, which is the vast difference between females and males. Go look it up. It's how I remember the vas deferens. Okay. So, purple or an indigo. This has to deal with faith, fasting, and freedom when it comes to the Bible. Wisdom. So, and violet in general, violet, indigo really have to talk about your imagination and beauty and really embracing the third eye, basically wisdom as well. Really embracing this third eye nature. And talking about the connection to the divine. There's honestly like I said before, there's going to be another part of this video. And the reason being is because halfway through, I started thinking about what are the correlations between this and the Hindu colors, because you really have to compare the Bible to Hinduism. Hinduism is the oldest religion in the world. Okay, so it is believed that Sarai and Abram came from a Hinduist section. Hinduism is a very vast. It is honestly believed that they kind of broke off, started their own thing. And honestly, you look at the journey that Sarah and Abram made at the beginning of their story, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's one of my top 3 favorite religions. And honestly, the reason why it's one of my top 3 is because they live at one with the universe. Like, when's the last time you heard of a Hindu going out and doing something stupid? Oh, wait. It'll happen. Because they're just like, I love it. Love it. My second reason is because their gods don't feel like they're up here and you're never going to be able to obtain it. Their gods have this really human feel to them, where they walked the earth and they were real, and they made mistakes, and they have this really human feel to them, and that's what I really like about it. And honestly, it makes everyday enlightenment achievable. It doesn't make you feel like there's no way I can ever do it, which some other religions, which we're not gonna name, some other religions make you feel like I'm never ever gonna be good enough and I should just give up everything for this thing because I'll never be good enough. But he is. Okay. So I'm not trying to tell anybody what to think here. Honestly, like, I just want to open up people's eyes to like color, just a little bit of everything. Don't put anything in a box. This is just my opinion and how it is that I believe, how it is I see things. If you have something different you want to add to the story, definitely let me know. Alrighty guys, have a great day. Bye.